Hello viewers, it is physics time. So now, in this video, we are going to find the period of a simple pendulum. So we are finding the period of a simple pendulum. So the question reads, the diagram below shows a bob of a simple pendulum that swings from A to B. That swings from A to B. If it takes the bob 0.5 seconds to swing from A to B, what is the period of the pendulum? What is the period of the pendulum? That is the question that we are answering now. Normally this question, if it comes in an exam, it's a 2 marks. Okay, so now, how do we work out this problem in finding the period? How do you find the period on the simple pendulum? To start with, you should know that period can simply be defined as the time taken for the bob to move from point A to point B to point C, back to B, and finally A. So the time it takes for a bob to complete one swing, that is the period of the pendulum. And the period of a pendulum is capital letter T. So period, capital letter T. How do you calculate it? Since it's time taken and number of oscillation, where T is equals to time taken and N, number of swings. Okay, so now what information are we given in this question for us to calculate? One, we are given time taken for the bob to move from A to B, and that is 0.5 seconds. What are we looking for? We are looking for the period. Do we have the N? Because the formula, we need to apply this formula, but the question is, do we have the N? So the N we do not have. How do we find the N? So please, in finding the N, bear in mind that if the bob moves from A to B to C and back to A, N is equals to 1. Now it has only moved up to B. So what is N? So now I like separating this one into 4 journeys. Okay, so we have this one. Let me just use a different pen. So the target one is a red one. But if we are to divide it into distances so that we see what is our N, I would like to put this one as the distance 1, then this one distance 2, then coming back, this is distance 3, and finally to A, this is distance what? 4. So all these 4 journeys or these distances makes up number of swing 1. Now it has only moved up to this red part. So now I've divided the journey that the bob moved into 4 parts, and therefore that is N divide 4. Since one complete oscillation is 1, so I've divided 1 4 times, or in 4 parts. Okay, so which means this one is a 1 over 4, this one is a 1 over 4, this one is a 1 over 4, also this one is the 1 over 4. In decimals, you can write it as 0.25. Also this one 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. When you sum up everything, you are going to find 1. Okay, so that is another thing that you should take note. Okay, so now meaning that from here, from A to B, is going to give us a 0.25. Okay, so our N therefore is 0.25 since it only moved from A to B. If it moved from A to C, you are going to add 0.25, 0.25, which gives us half. So your N was going to be half. But if it moves back to B, you are going to add 0.25 plus 0.25 plus 0.25, 0.7. So this one, if you add, it will give you 0.75. Okay, and if you add 0.75, you add a 0.2 here, it's going to give you finally a 1. So therefore, our N is 0.25. And therefore, we can go on now to calculate the period of the pendulum. Okay, so let us now find the period. So the period of a simple pendulum therefore is equals to time 0.5 seconds divide 0.25 5. And what are you going to have? You are going to have 2.0 seconds or 2 seconds as your period. The other question that you are going to find on this particular topic is to state or give the factors that affect the period of the pendulum. You need to know the factors, okay? And the factors that affect the period of a pendulum, we have acceleration due to gravity, and we also have the length of a string. You also need to know the factors that do not affect the period of the pendulum. Okay, so those are the main things that you need to know on this particular part, not forgetting also how to calculate the frequency. So if you are asked to calculate, maybe just a quick one. If you are asked to calculate the frequency, you know that frequency is equals to, you can just simply use this formula, 1 over period, which means in finding the frequency, you are just going to put 1 over, then what is the period that we found? 2 seconds. And therefore, you are going to have your frequency 0.5 hertz. Okay, frequency is measured in hertz or per second. That is how you are going to find the frequency if at all that question was given. So thank you very much. And if this information was useful, make sure to follow me for more video of